This is your face. This is Overlord. This is your face on Overlord. Any question? Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome to my review for Overlord. This movie was directed by Julius Avery, it was produced by J.J. Abrams, and this movie tells the story of a group of soldiers in World War II who are going ahead of the U.S. invasion of Normandy, D-Day, to knock out a communications tower hidden in a small French town, in a church to be specific. And when they get to the church, they find the tower, but they also find something a lot more sinister. Going into this movie, I was hopeful, but also a little cautious. The trailer for this movie was basically playing in front of every movie that I had seen ever since Mission Impossible Fallout. And for trailers, it looked really good. But good trailers have been attached to bad movies, and bad movies have had great trailers. So I was cautiously optimistic. However, I have a confession to make in 3, 2, 1. I really loved this movie, and I 100% did not think I would. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think this movie was going to be bad. I don't think J.J. Abrams has ever made a truly bad movie. At worst, his worst movies are passable. But 1 hour and 49 minutes later, I walked out of this movie with my friend, the Unique Film Fan, and I said to myself, wow, that was really good. And this may be one of the biggest surprises that I've seen in a theater this year. This movie hooked me from scene 1. The first scene is basically an introduction to all of the soldiers. The ones that are going to die and the ones that we're going to stick with for the rest of the movie. They're on their way to Normandy to take care of the mission. And that scene hooked me literally as soon as the credits hit. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I love it. Which leads into my biggest compliment that I could give to this movie, the effects and the cinematography. The cinematography in this movie is great. From the plane scene in the opening to many of the shots in the church and in the town. Whoever this Julius Avery is, he knows what he's doing behind the camera. The plane scene was great, but there's a scene at the end, don't worry, I won't spoil it for you, but one of the main soldiers is rushing out of the church. I won't say why, he's just running out of the church. And it's all in one shot. And I was like, is this all in one shot? And then my mind answered it for me. Yes, yes it is. And the effects in this movie are also excellent. After the movie, I turned to my friend, the Unique Film Fan, and I said to him, were the makeup effects practical or were they CGI? And he was like, I don't know, but it was good either way. I'm thinking it might be a mix of practical makeup and CGI, but it was all spectacular. There's some juicy looking kills in this movie. It definitely deserves the rated R rating. There's this one scene where the soldiers capture this Nazi on a motorcycle, and they tape his hands to the motorcycle and they send him to the church. He arrives at the church and his mouth's taped up and his hands are taped to the motorcycle. And so the Nazi commander rips the tape off and it pulls the grenade in this Nazi's mouth. And I'm like, oh my god, they are not. And then 5 seconds later, boom, this Nazi's head explodes and then the bike explodes. And it was not like, oh, they did it at the same time. It was head, bike. The effects in this movie are awesome. There were some CGI explosions used, and I think there were some practical explosions I couldn't really tell. But there was definitely a lot of practical touches in this movie that I really did appreciate. The biggest surprise for me that I didn't know I would like as much, but I turned out I really did enjoy, was the acting. You got Jovan Adepo, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly because he was really good. He plays the main soldier, the one we all relate to. You got Wyatt Russell, the son of Kurt Russell, who I hope he gets more movies after this because Kurt Russell's talent has clearly transferred to his son. You've got, and I'm probably going to butcher this, so I apologize, Matilda Olivier as this girl named Chloe, who just rocked. And then you've got the main villain named Pillow Aspic. Again, I'm probably butchering all those names. I do apologize. But Mr. Aspic was really good. He plays the main Nazi, and you hate him from the outset. It's not like other villains where you love to hate them, you love to see what they're like. No, like, once you see him, you're like, jerk. And sure enough, he truly was a jerk. The best way I can describe Overlord is that if Band of Brothers crossed over with Wolfenstein, that is Overlord. It's not meant to be a deep character study. It's about a group of soldiers going from point A to point B to try and stop something so that something can happen in return. However, due to a combination of mostly good acting, great effects, amazing CGI, and this movie's willingness to go to the extreme and sometimes a little over the extreme, I'm going to give this movie an amazing grade. This may be up there with Upgrade as one of the biggest surprises that I have seen all year. A movie that didn't look too good, but then I saw it and I was like, wow, that is awesome. Like I said, this movie's not meant to lend itself to the cultural zeitgeist or free your mind or anything like that. It's just a simple, straightforward World War II action horror movie. That's all it is, and it does that very well. But that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like. And if you saw Overlord and you had a differing opinion or you liked it, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. I do read the comments, so let me have it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.